G'day guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the Random Grid Replica Championship on Project Cars 2. This is round 7, race 3 here at Bathurst for the V8 supercars. So let's go around. Let's take you through the grid then. So it's TY on pole position from Bidzster, and then it's Spapper in third. So off we go, guys, and I'll use my normal voice. Here we go, ready for the start, and we're off. Good start in the middle by someone in the white car, and then they get put into the wall, and it's chaos behind. Chaos behind, but Bidzster's into the lead in the first corner. TY alongside. And then we've got Azadar Blade with Blatney giving him a little shove off the road. So already some bullying going on. As we go up the hill, SHAREfactory goes round Azadar, Keith as well, and it's still Bidzster and TY side by side for the lead. Bidzster versus TY into turn 2. Bidzster gets it but runs wide. TY's attacking him back, but again nothing can be done as we look into the midfield. I think everyone's got around that other corner nicely, I think, so we're all heading up the mountain. SHAREfactory's having a little go at Blatney there, can't quite find a way through. Bidzster's in the lead. What's happened to TY? TY's gone really slow there. TY's gone really slow, he's gone right back down, so he's gone back down to third, so we'll have to get a replay on that after the first lap as we look at SHAREfactory and Azadar side by side, I think it was. Oh no, it's SHAREfactory and Blatney. As we go through the next few corners and Blatney comes off worse. Azadar goes up the inside to take advantage of the position. Keith's in 7th, so obviously liking these cars a little bit better. As we look back at Stacker, Bradders and Stevie, they're all further back. And there's Spapper going down the hill with TY right behind him. Then we've got Azadar and everyone else sliding through down the dipper. TY, SHAREfactory, Azadar, and then further back we've got Blake, Keith, Neil Farmack, Stevie and Bradders and co near the back as well, so everything happening at once. As we look at SHAREfactory then, he's passed TY into third, so TY goes backwards yet again, so TY going really far backwards on this first lap. As they all get in each other's draft and there's an accident further back. That's Stacker, Stevie and co, or something's happened there, so again we'll get replays on that after the first lap. As we come down to the end of the Conrod Straight, Bidzster's 4 seconds ahead already, and it's TY, and so Spapper goes wide, SHAREfactory goes through. I don't think there was contact there, but SHAREfactory goes through past Spapper, and now it's TY's turn. There's Bidzster going around the last corner already. So then it's SHAREfactory second, Spapper third, TY fourth, Azadar fifth, and then we've got all these cars battling out here. Blake, Keith, Neil and Growley all battling each other there as we look at TY defending the inside from Spapper. Spapper tries to go right round the outside, and he's got a good line out as well, still side by side. Brilliant racing this. As we go up the hill, we've got a couple of cars side by side further back as well. We've got Keith, Neil and Growley all battling for it as well. Beautiful cameras here on this circuit. Nice camera angles here, just wish the cameras had changed a quick. As we go and look into the next corner, Spapper and TY still side by side, all the way around that corner side by side. Brilliant stuff, and meanwhile in the background the other Fords have sorted themselves out with Neil in front of Keith. As we go into the hairpin that leads us up the mountain, get the power on. TY gets the power on, so we'll get those replays of the first lap action in now. Here's a replay of the start on board with SHAREfactory, then so watch ahead. See Bradders goes across to the left, and then Stevie Growley comes across, hits him, and then bang, Stevie has nowhere to go and then hits him as well, and it all concertinas up. And now here's Stevie's view on that, so you see Bradders makes a fantastic start, goes through the middle, and Growley comes across because he's got contact, and then the guys behind had nowhere to go and hit Stevie in the back. So, but luckily they all continue. Okay, here's the replay what happened to TY. So watch him out of this corner. He goes to turns in, gets the power on a bit earlier, and then just loses the back end of the car. And then Spapper goes through, and then he's quick to get on the gas before the others come at him. Here's a replay what happened to Stevie and Stacker. So watch into this corner. Stevie goes to the inside, and bang! Hits Stacker in the back end and spins him right round. But luckily Stevie just pulls over and waits for him to be joined. So no penalty should be incurred. And here's something else where you probably saw just as we went to those replays. So Blatney comes through to the hairpin and then gets on the power now, and too early, bang, and too hard, and then goes off, and that's how Blatney went down the field. Then Keith hits him at the back, and then Growley tries to take advantage, but then they all resume from there. As we come back from that then, oh, Spapper runs wide, and then bang, hits Azadar off into the wall, but couldn't really help that much because he just made a mistake, and Azadar wrong place, wrong time. As we go up and over the hill then with Blake, with a very aerodynamically challenged Ford Falcon V8 supercar, so not really looking very good there. As we go down to the next section, Azadar Blade then in the middle of a Spapper Neil sandwich. down the hill. Oh, very close to running wide there down the hill as we look back at Keith and Co in the middle here with Growley behind him. Meanwhile, Bidzster with a massive lead here, 6 seconds ahead. There he goes up over the top of the Conrod Straight. There's Cyrex chasing him down, 6 seconds behind. Then it's TY, Spapper, and then we've got a car in the wall in the background. Who was that? Growley or Bradders? Bradders in the wall in the background, so Bradders trying to catch up in the wall. Then we've got Stevie and Stacker further back, and Stevie goes bang off into the wall. Not liking that car at all, I don't think. As Azadar comes to the end of the straight with Neil Farmack behind, both braking, and Azadar again in a very aerodynamically modified Ford Falcon there. As you look at Keith coming towards the end of the lap, and now Blakeney's gone off onto the grass, ran wide. Keith goes round, will Growley get him as well? Side by side down to the next corner. He should have enough of an overrun, and yes he does. Pulls in front before the braking zone. Got to be careful moving across in the braking zone. Oh, because Keith loses it in, causes Growley to react, and got a car in the air, somersaults and lands on his wheels. Wow, intense stuff that, madness. We'll get a replay to Growley then, so we're going around this corner. We lose it the same as Keith, and we lose it even more. Then Blakeney has nowhere to go, bang, straight into his roll, and then we resume the race. As we go back to the up front then, so it's TY third. He's still trying to catch up to the others after the first lap few mishaps. Spapper in fourth with Neil only just over half a second behind. There he is, right behind him. And then we've got Keith, we've got Arsenal in the middle of them, and then Keith with Bradders behind him now, so Bradders putting the pressure on Keith here, and Blakeney in the background trying to keep up. Up the hill, Keith ahead of Bradders. And up the hill, oh, Keith gets the power on too early, and Bradders says, whoa, my goodness, what are you doing that for? And Blakeney's going to try and get him as well. Oh, that would have been very, very close. That would have been contact if he'd have gone for that, but luckily, backed off. As we go up and over the top of the mountain, Keith again trying to play daredevil with the wall. So there'll not be much of that Ford left at the time he's finished with it if he keeps doing that. So down the dipper we go. Blakeney right behind him, still trying to pressurise him. Oh, but he's almost trying to push him down. And Keith still holding on to it now. Blake can't really do much here as Neil and Spapper having a good little battle here. When it shows us, there we go. Neil ahead in the white and red car. Then it's the yellow and black car chasing him down of Spapper, the Italian guy. So good to see a mixture of nationalities in LPB racing now, so growing and growing and growing. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to all these videos and all the rest of the videos on the channel as well. Got plenty of stuff to see as we've got Blake and Growley side by side down the straight, and Growley takes it. So Blakeney goes behind Growley there, so Growley takes the position and Blakeney goes back down one more place. As we look at Spapper and Neil, still trying to stick with Neil is Spapper, so still trying to, and meanwhile up front Bidzster's got a nice comfy lead still, but Cyrex is reeling him in because it was about a 4.5 second gap. It's now a 3 second gap, so Cyrex really moving here in these V8 supercars. Obviously really good in them. Reminds him of the stock cars probably, with the squirmish handling. So Cyrex doing well here, pushing on. As we look back at Keith, he's there, and then we've got Growley and Blake still quite close together, and still Stevie and Stacker almost side by side down the straight. They're still battling it out for 11th and 12th place. So again, battle just as hard down the field as you do at the top. Every position counts, every point counts. And Stevie's in a battle with TY at the minute for the... Oh, Stacker's lost control. He goes round in the background. But as I was saying, Stevie's battling with TY for second place in the championship. So this isn't really helping him, being at the back here and TY being there in third place. He's already at the bottom of the dipper, trying to catch Cyrex and trying to keep a decent gap over Neil. So just trying to keep consistent pace. Meanwhile, Cyrex 2.5 seconds now. It's almost down to 2.5 seconds. It's 2.8, so it's going down. That's another couple of tenths over the half a lap that he's gained on Bidzster, but Bidzster still doing all he needs to do to keep the lead. So into the end of the straight, nicely through there, and Cyrex, so look at Cyrex, yep, does much the same. So still decent paces there as we look at Blakeney. He's trying to catch Growley here. So he's got back on some pace, caught Growley up a little bit more. Keith's gone back down to 10th, so Keith having a bit of a troublesome few laps, I think. Meanwhile, let's have a look at Growley and Blake. They're only 8/10 apart, not much in it. Growley ahead of Blake. Blake trying to stay with him. Up and over the little kink on the Conrod straight. Brake. Really hard on the brakes and then into that call. Oh, Growley gets a bit squirmy there. Tries to put the power on a bit early, but I think Blake did more or less the same thing. He's not really caught up that much. He's probably reeled in maybe a 10th or two. Meanwhile, in the background, we've got Keith and Stevie fighting it out. Stevie trying to get past Keith for an extra position. Like I said earlier, every point counts, especially when you're battling for second in the championship. So obviously Bidzster's already champion, but Stevie and TY having a good little tussle here for second place. So there's Keith ahead of Stevie. Obviously, Stevie needs every point he can get. Meanwhile, for the leaders, Cyrex. Again, he's clawed in about another half a second on Bidzster here, so Bidzster must have made a mistake somewhere. So, for him to lose half a second in one sector, that must have been a mistake from Bidzster, so got to keep an eye on this here. Got to make sure he doesn't lose too much, but nice and neat down those, down the dipper. Brilliant stuff here by Bidzster. And then down the bottom there's Cyrex. He's visually closer, you can tell that from here. Let's have a look back. Azadar Blade. Ooh, playing gamble with the wall. Just about as close as you can get to without hitting it. Meanwhile, Growley and Stevie. Oh, Stevie's past Keith. So Stevie's past Keith there. So we'll get a little replay now that changed. Stevie past Keith then. So into the first corner. Keith goes a bit wide onto the dust, loses traction, and then almost comes across and hits us. And then Stevie goes through. As we come back from that, we see the two blue cars going over the top. Growley and Stevie wanting the team's championship as well, but again they need to sort of be careful not to finish too far down the order. They should get it if they get a nice points finish, or at least maybe a top half finish, so should easily get that as we go with Bradders then in 7th place. Let's have a check on how he's doing. Just nice on his own. A few cars spread out now, but Growley and Stevie have not spread out. They're side by side teammates, and Stevie goes through. So Growley letting Stevie go because he knows he's quicker, and then Growley's lost time now, and Keith says, cheers boy, I'll have that, thank you very much Lee, I will go through. Meanwhile, Cyrex has gone back down, so Bidzster has pulled out a gap. Either that or Cyrex has made a mistake, so either which has happened. Bidzster's got a bit more of a gap now. So it was coming down to about 2.8 to 3 seconds, and now it's gone up to almost 4 seconds again. So, like I said, either Cyrex made a mistake or Bidzster's pulled ahead, but I would imagine more than likely it's the fact that Cyrex made a mistake because he was pushing very hard. But we'll see as we go back to the Stevie Keith Growley battle. So they're all still quite close further back down the order as we go through turn 1. And oh, Keith gets a bit squirmy on the power but gets away with it. And goes up the hill, nicely following the other cars there. And Growley's behind. Stacker really struggling in this one, he's further back in this. So let's go on board with Keith. And this is the one camera I love, and I wish it wouldn't change round, because if I'm not going to press anything here, in a moment it'll change the camera around again. There we go, I've not even pressed anything. It's just changed the camera around. I wish they could have that camera as a fixed camera. Let me try and get back to it. There we are. I wish this could be a fixed camera, because that would be lovely just to look around the car, and brilliant onboard camera, but unfortunately it doesn't stay there. So it'll just change like it does there. I've not pressed anything there and it's just changed. So unfortunately that's what's happening. But hopefully for Project Cars 3 or maybe in a future update they might be able to fix that. So Project Cars, please do it, because it would really help improve the videos, and obviously it'll be very good for the spectator audience. As we look now at Azadar Blade, he's still tootling around 6 seconds aside. Stevie and Blakeney aren't tootling around though. Stevie's right on the back of Blakeney. These two intense rivals, really good friends as well, and work together as well. But obviously, all that friendship goes into the pot on the racetrack, because Stevie's just stuffed him one. Blakeney makes a bit of a mistake on the straight, and then Stevie just goes straight through. So Stevie gets the upper hand and the bragging rights for when they meet each other at work. So Stevie and Blake leaves the braking very late and almost takes him out. So Stevie will be thinking, what are you trying to do? Take me out? And Blake is like, yeah, push your head. But all's well that ends well. Stevie in 8th, Blake in 9th, and then it's Growley 10th, Keith in 11th, coming back, trying to get some positions back here. Meanwhile, we've got a battle on for 3rd. TY has gone back into the hands of Neil, but look at the gap to Cyrex. So TY has gone from an 8-second gap to Cyrex to 11 seconds and 12 seconds off. So they've definitely made a mistake somewhere, and now Neil is right on him for a podium finish. So Neil in his own little battle in the championship as well. He's battling with his teammate Keith, and obviously Keith's not doing as well in this one, so that could be looking like 6th place, could be nailed for him. So we'll see. But again, we've got another race to go after this, so watch this space as we go down the dipper. Neil Farmack versus TY. Two guys who are very experienced in LPB racing. We've been racing with them for a while, and they are really, really good racers. Really nice guys as well. And they both accelerate out of the Forest Elbow, down the back straight, down the Conrod straight, building up the speed. And Neil will have a bit of a draft here, but I don't think he'll be close enough for a move. But we'll just look a bit further back, and Keith's ahead of Growley, so Keith makes up 1 place. Keith gets into 10th as he approaches the dipper, and now it's Blakeney and Stevie ahead of him. Meanwhile, Stevie, I think, is catching Bradders, because if you look, Bradders is here, and then there's Stevie coming over the top. So Bradders goes out the corner, there's Stevie behind, so Bradders going to have to get a move on here, because I think Stevie can sniff that 7th place, but I don't think it's going to be, because, Bidzster's crossed the line already. I've missed the end again, I do apologise, we're getting that hooked in the race. So Neil Farmack finishes 4th, and TY just ahead, so we'll just get a replay on those first 4 finishes now. Here's a replay of the first few guys crossing the line. So here's Bidzster taking the win. Well done to Bidzster, he wins this race. Well done to him. And it's Cyrex who finishes in 2nd. Well done to Cyrex, good fight back there. And TY, he's going to be in 3rd position, but it's Neil right behind him. And TY goes to cross the line, and yep, he takes 3rd position, and then Neil comes home in 4th. So as we come back from that, I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. I got that hooked in the battles that I forgot how far we got. As Spapper comes across the line in 5th place, well done to Spapper. Arzadar Blade comes through in 6th position. 6th position for Arzadar Blade, and then Bradders is going to come across the line in 7th. Stevie pushing hard, but not quite close enough in the end to get that other place. So Bradders 7th, Stevie 8th, as he sort of does a bit of a wobble across the line. Blakeney's going to be 9th, but look in the background, it's Keith and Growley. Keith and Growley come up to the line, and Blakeney's slowing down. Why is he slowing down? Now, why did he slow down there? That was stupid. Blakeney was slowing down there and caused a collision, but he keeps his 9th place, but still, that's going to be under investigation for definite. As Stacker then, unfortunately, he's had to reset. He's having a horrible time in this car, so we'll not embarrass him too much, but Stacker finishes in 12th. So let's get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay, here's a replay on board with Blakeney on for his last lap shenanigans. So gets around the last corner, then doesn't even bother to put his foot down. It's like, why is he stopping? He's just like flashing his lights, stopping, slowing down, and then Keith just has no choice. Well, runs into the back of him. So I don't know what he was playing at there, Blakeney, but stupid stuff. Okay guys, as we come back from that replay, Bidzster wins the race then from 3 seconds from Cyrex in 2nd place. TY gets on the podium in 3rd, well done to TY. 4th is Neil Farmack as we just go over the page. Then it's Spapper in 5th. Arzadar Blade finishes a decent 6th place. 7th for Bradders. Then it's Stevie in 8th. Blakeney finishes in 9th after that controversial finish. Keith gets 10th, Growley is in 11th, and Stacker in 12th position. So as you come back from that then, there's your winner in the Ford Falcon there, Bidzster in the V8 Supercars, well done. And we've still got one more race to go, guys, so stay tuned for race 4 coming up shortly. So we'll see you guys then, take care.